Oh. Little ones. There we go. Little pickles. Oh, look at those poor tufts of Fifi that have gone everywhere. Good morning, Tom. Morning, Helen. Morning, Palin. How's it going? The rug is covered in loads of tiny bits of cardboard this morning. Morning, Joe. Morning, Mazaira. Good morning, Harry. Morning, Expelliana. I'd finally chopped down like the massive box that's been in the corner for ages. But it does mean that it sort of exploded everywhere. So I will need to vacuum this rug afterwards, but I ran out of time. Good morning, Zara. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Heng. Good morning, Miss Ira. I've had 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Oh no! Go back to bed. Have more sleep. I had confusing sleep because... can I take thank you very much for the 53 months? Thank you. I had confusing sleep because I had like 2 or 3 dreams that I had overslept. And then I'd wake up and be like, no, I'm fine. But then I'd just go back to sleep and do the same. And at no point was I like, I should just get up. I kept on being like, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Emma, good morning. Kate, thank you very much for the 63 months. Banui, beep, bob, beep. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to have a bit of a tidy of the bunny's room. You wouldn't think it to look at it, but I'm slowly preparing it for the big changeover, which I figure if I just do like a little bit every now and then, it'll make it slightly easier to get done when I finally have time to actually do the big change. Everything I do is just helping future me. Good morning, David. Sure, I'm glad to see these rabbits receive the delicious banana they definitely have. Well, I'm glad you're ready, because they do have banana. Yeah, sadly there wasn't one in the office yesterday when I went in. I had a very lovely peach. But there was only like peaches, apples, and tangerines. There were no... Well, actually... Were they tangerines? Or were they clementines? Well, some sort of small orange thing that isn't an orange. And, yeah. They, no bananas. Whole place was bananaless. I think they even had grapes as well, maybe. But yes. Sans banana. Gerry, can I move a few? Oh, I didn't keep 2 behind for the babies. Where are 2 similar sized ones? Probably those. Actually, let's go for the big ones. There we go. You can tell that they're getting to the end of the bag as well because it's all like dusty. They've got all their pellet dust mixed in with all the cardboard dust. But there it is, all broken down. Finally. But it does mean that the rug does look a bit worse for wear at the moment because of it. But nothing that cousin can't sort out later. I'm sure I do a very good job whilst I'm away at Gerby. Okay, have you finished your final ones? Can I... There's a final one for you. There's a final one for you. There we go. Look, equal. Morning, Cow. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Dave. I didn't get as much gardening as I wanted to done yesterday. I went out when I got home from the office. I went out for a bit and I did Lewis eat all the bananas? I imagine it was quite a joint effort. They tend to have like 3 bowls of fruit in the office, but it's between everyone on that floor. So I guess bananas are just a popular favourite. That, and I think on Fridays and Thursdays people tend to take the bananas home because I guess they're things that come in their own packaging, so to speak. So rather than taking the apples home, I think people tend to take the bananas. Boop. Boop. Tea. Oh, look at those. What a little guy. What a little guy. Come on in, megalomaniac. But yeah, as you can see, all of these bits of cardboard are the evidence of the exploded box that I finally took down yesterday. It was quite a job, but I got through it. That is the biggest box I've ever had to break down. Donnie, thank you very much for the 55 months. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, they normally, I mean, they encourage people to take the fruit home every Friday, to be honest, because they don't want it just, sitting in the office over the weekend. So the bananas were probably very encouraged to find new homes, and I just got in there a little bit later. Oh, Fifi, look at your poor little bum tuft from where I imagine Gerry chased you for the pellets. Fifi, no. I've not put this cardboard here as a little like smorgasbord for you to eat various bits of cardboard. Oh, little pickle. Oh, Gerry, you're excited now, thinking that she's getting something exciting, but it's just cardboard. You were there the whole time I was breaking the box down. You know it's just cardboard. Oh, little bunnies. This cardboard is for Fifi. Logic. Good morning, Anhole. How's it going? What was I saying? Immediately distracted by stealing tufts. Hi. They always ask for food so much earlier on Fridays. I think because banana is quite stinky. So they can always smell it on the table, and then they're always, I guess the smell just lingers down to them. Whereas normally you're off criming for a bit before you come back for food. But yeah, so I didn't get to do as much gardening as I was hoping to. But good news, I did get paid for one invoice, so now hopefully I can afford to buy some flowers for the garden. Because when I bought plants, I just bought lots of green things, and the green things are nice, but Fifi, don't need all the cardboard. Green things are nice, but they don't really lend much colour to the garden, so yeah. And then we also, last night, I was looking at the listing for this house, and because I wanted to look for like what the garden looked like when we moved in for inspiration, and we were looking back through the pictures, and Alex was like, do they have a nicer house than us? I was like, that is our house. He was like, it just looks like it has so much more space in those pictures. And I was like, well, yeah, because they didn't really have stuff in. Oh, bless him. I think he thinks we've ruined the house in 7 years. Yeah, that, and obviously they take the photos in a way to make it look as big as possible. But I was like, no, we've made it our own. It's good. I mean, yeah, they didn't have lots of shelves full of board games, but, shame on them. Tea. And they didn't have an entire room dedicated to bunnies. It used to be a like sort of a sunroom where they had a dartboard and chairs, and when we first looked around it, we didn't notice all of the holes in the room where they'd obviously missed the dartboard. And then when we were actually decorating it, we were suddenly like, there's loads of holes in the floor and in the wall. Yeah, they'd obviously just had rogue shots. Hey, Gerry. Tea. What's the point of having a house if you're not going to devote an entire room to bunnies? Precisely. Best use of a room we've ever found. Look at these two little floppy babies. You flopsy. Oh, you don't want to be fully flopped. That's fair news. Tea. Little guy. But yeah, I'm glad that I've made like some progress with the garden, because it does feel nice to, like, if I just want to go out there for a little bit and do a little something, I've got that option. And I'm borrowing the chairs we use for office barbecues. I'm borrowing those from the office today. So when people come around this weekend, they will have a place, like a chair and space to sit in. And it might not be as surrounded by nature as I was hoping, but, there'll be the sky above and probably some earwigs hidden under a flower pot. What more can you ask for? JD, thank you very much for the 5 months. Good morning, Brady. Currently waiting to find out if I'm going in for an emergency operation. Oh my gosh. Chilling with the buns to keep me calm. Well, fingers crossed everything is good. And all goes well. And there are lots of bunny cuddles to go around. Do not worry about that. But yeah, I'm so glad that we found this house, because having that room for the bunnies where everything's like open plan and what do you call it, like we can actually spend time with the bunnies, they're not in a separate room. I think it's just absolutely perfect. Occasionally I will look at like other houses around the area to see if there's anything else that we could anywhere else we could move to that would be better, but nowhere's ever as good. I'm always like, I'm very pleased with our house, which is a nice feeling. Poor Gerry can't catch a moment's break from having his tuff stolen. I stole so much of him yesterday, I couldn't believe it. Plus moving his dress, true. I've done it once. I never want to do it again. It would have to be a very significant move for me to do it. Tea. I've moved a lot of times, it never gets easier. My sister is moving to the UK and is thinking of buying a place. You're in the UK and a homeowner. What does share of freehold mean? Is that... I'll start by saying I don't know, but my guess is it like is the place like a flat inside a building? Because very often, if you're in like a flat inside a shared building, it means that you have to pay for like general building maintenance, and everyone has to chip into that. That would be my guess. Oh my gosh, Fifi, will you stop stealing that cardboard? will you stop stealing the cardboard? It's a shared thing. It's probably that then, because I have friends who have had that sort of situation where it's like they, you know, that it's a shared garden, and all of a sudden they'd get it like done up, and they'd all have to pay an equal amount throughout the building for it, sort of thing. So I wonder if it's that sort of thing. Share a freehold means you don't own the building yourself. It's a building that's owned by someone else, like renting. You're sharing the house price. Oh, okay. I see. It means you own the land your home is built on. Leasehold means you rent the ground your home is on. Oh. Bunnies, will you stop eating that? Yeah, that's not it's not something we had to deal with because we didn't want to we looked at a couple of like flats and stuff when we were moving, but we very much wanted a house instead. Tea. Gerry just constantly molting now? No, he's just still coming through with his summer coat. He'll get there. Oh my goodness, what a monster. What is so tasty about this cardboard? What makes different cardboards tastier than others? No. You're such a little pickle, Fifi. It's not gonna stop her. You're just following along for the fun, aren't you? Oh my gosh. You're being led into a life of crime, Gerry. Look at that. She doesn't have anything. I don't have anything. I'm sorry, baby boy. He's so excited because he thinks everyone's getting treats, but they're not. It's just Fifi stealing cardboard. He's like, wow, cardboard? I want some of that. Where did the cardboard come from? That cardboard was packaging for... I got a bird feeder and a bird bath from CJ Wildlife. And they used eco-friendly packaging. And that was some of it. I mean, she will get bored of it eventually, I hope. I should have... It's still just cardboard. Can you believe, baby boy? I know. Come on in, Owls. I know you can hear her chewing. But it's still just cardboard. I can't believe it's not cardboard. What a sad day for a boy, eh? What a sad day to be a Gerry. I know you can still heal her. You can heal her? We cannot heal her of cardboard addiction. It's the fact she's just eating it. Rather than... Like, Gerry will tear it apart for the fun of it. And, whereas Fifi just eats it The worst part is you don't even have Nana for the boy. Not yet. He has to hold off. He has to get past the halfway mark. He can't have his he can't have his treat too early, can you, baby boy? No. Are you finished eating that yet? Need to keep an eye on you. I'm not having you bunging up your tummy because you've eaten too much cardboard. Still sampling around the outside of it. Oh, Fifi. Heard from the dentist, now I can watch Banui and go back to sleep. Yay! That's good. That is good. If you took it off, would she thump or just move on with her life? She would move on. I mean, she would find something else to steal and get the crime out of her system with, but hopefully she'll get bored. If she doesn't get bored in the next minute, I will step in and stop the cardboard consumption. She's distracted because there's pellet dust on the carpet at the moment, so she's just eating that instead. She's just licking the carpet. Dear oh dear. So yeah, tonight I am gonna be going to, this is really exciting for me. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I'm getting to go to a Costco, and I've never been to a Costco before, and they're always like, it's like getting to go into the back rooms of an Argos. It's like, it just feels so mysterious and exciting. I'm genuinely like this is more exciting than going to the big shop. This is the big shop. Morning, Drew. Because I've always seen people like return from a Costco, but I've never actually, I don't know what goes on in there. It just seems like a magical place. Hopefully they have what I actually want to go into one for. I hear they do pizza? Wait, what? Does it have its own restaurant? Oh, good schnuff. Good schnuff, baby boy. It's like a shop for giants. When are you and Alex getting the Zeus and Hera t-shirts? I feel like I would rather Alex didn't have multiple affairs. So maybe never. Maybe never. And I don't think I want to be particularly hero-ish either. Seems there's a lot of torture and murder involved that I don't really want to put my energy into. I mean, I guess... Oh. 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 Oh, a little man. That was really good. A really good flop. A really good flop. What about Aphrodite and Hephaestus then? I don't want to have multiple affairs. And I don't want don't even want to say what Hephaestus does. I mean, they both did. There's not really any in the Olympian gods, for sure, there aren't any particularly healthy couples. In the mortal realm there is, just not in the immortal realm particularly. Good morning, bells. Baucis and Philemon are probably the best couple in all of Greek mythology. They are happy together, they love each other, and they stay together into old age. So it doesn't get much better than that. To be fair, when you're immortal, death do us part loses meaning. True. True. I mean, there are other couples that are also... Well, then again, it would different times, wasn't it? I mean, adultery as we look at it nowadays wasn't particularly a thing for men. Very much for women, not a thing for men back in those days. So I don't think there's a basis for healthy relationships in a modern viewing. Hades and Persephone is a good couple. Well, that if you look at the statue, I mean, a lot of people would say otherwise. There's a statue that I won't say the full name of because bad words, but there's a statue of, it's Proserpina, I think, that is very disturbing, and Hades, and I think a lot of people have that viewpoint of things. Having played Hades, I like to think of it as the more wholesome version of the story. But unfortunately, the original text is not quite so nice. Good morning, Juicy. Imagine t-shirts, but it's Oedipus and Oedipus's mum. I mean, in their defense, they were very much in love. And that's nice. Like, I think Oedipus gets a bad rap sometimes. When really, you know, there's this whole like thing of like Oedipus doesn't actually fit the Oedipus complex theory, because the thought that Oedipus, you know, this whole thing about how because you're growing up with your father, it would lead to you wanting to naturally overthrow him. But he didn't grow up with his father. The first time he met his father was when he killed him. So there was no like long-seated childhood resentment or anything in there. It was just he met a dude. He met a dude and he did a little murder. And it was an accidental murder anyway, a manslaughter at best. And the whole reason that he... Oh, snuffing boy. Oh, snuffing baby boy. It is okay. It is okay. You get them snuffs out. Hello, have you finished eating cardboard now? That's nice. You come to see how your husband is doing? Oh, Gerry. He was following my hand, and he just did that thing that penguins do, supposedly, when they watch aeroplanes go over. But I think that was found to be a myth. Thank you. That's very lovely. That's so lovely of you. Just gonna smush him. Just smush the boy. But yeah, that was more of a... I mean, like... yeah, if anything, Oedipus was the person who had the furthest from an Oedipus complex, because he was so appalled by the idea of sex with his mother that he literally removed himself from the kingdom that he grew up in. And was just like, I will never do that. I don't even want to risk it ever happening. And he didn't return until after who he thought was his parents had died. So So really, yes, he did some bad things, but it's more a tale of cautionary, self-fulfilling prophecies rather than anything about finding your mum sexy. When you think about it. And then, yeah, very much it was taken into... I mean, I feel like there must be more... I feel like the problem is the only person who would willingly do that sort of incestual thing would be Zeus. But if you were trying to... Oh, Fifi, that was right under Gerry's head. You couldn't really name a complex after Zeus because it would be too complex. How would you encompass all of those things? But yeah. It's a shame because Yocasta seems quite lovely, really, and met quite a stinky end because of all of that. The dad, not so much. He, if you're going to go nailing babies to cliffs, I think you sort of expect your comeuppance at some point, or at least you should do. It's, yeah, he's naughty. He's a naughty little guy. The logic of baby abandonment is quite funny throughout Greek mythology. Like, basically, there was this thing where the worst crime of all, punishable by, being chased by the Furies and flayed, was blood crime. So killing a family relation was considered like one of the worst crimes you could ever do. But you keep getting these like prophecies that are like, your child or your grandchild will grow up to kill you. So instead of like, they're like constantly coming up with these things of, well, I can't kill the baby because that's bad, but I technically didn't kill the baby if I nail them inside a wooden box and throw them into the sea. Like, I didn't do that. The sea did that. You're just like, I feel like that's not going to stand up in a court, dude. Or like, what if I just leave the baby in the woods next to a bear? That's, I didn't do that. That's sort of on the bear there. Joke's on you. The bear was a mama bear and raised the baby. So how'd you like that now? What other ones do you have? Yeah, Oedipus is nailed to, because they're like, I don't want this baby to go crawling off anywhere. So Oedipus was had a bolt driven through his foot and was nailed onto the side of like a hillside. And that is why Oedipus, the name means swollen foot, which is where so not only does he get known as someone who married his mum, he's named after his own foot. That's his most notable feature, is his big feet. Happened to one of my buddies. Father get a prophecy? Happens all the time. And then I guess you've got, yeah. I mean, sometimes people did just straight up say to have him killed. But it's like in what is it called? I remember the mum is called Galatea, but I don't remember the name of the dad or the child. It's not Lycaeus, but it's something that begins with an L, I think. But they're basically like, can we have a boy, please? I just want a boy. And the mum has a girl, and the father is so inattentive that the mum just goes, yep, that's a boy. And he's just like, yep, excellent, I have a son. And the child gets raised as a son. And everyone's just like, yep, I see no problems here. And then it gets to a point where obviously it's becoming fairly, like, a bit more obvious that this is not the son the king thought he had. So the Galatea, the mum, just like prays up to the gods, and they are transformed into a son and live as a son. But I can't remember. No. I can't remember the name of the child. But it did spark this whole thing where all of the children from that particular place, there's a whole essay written about it, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but all of the people, all the children from that place, they all wear like unisex garb. Technically, they say that they are all raised as girls, but I think if everyone is being raised as a girl, then you are all being raised unisex. And they then have, I guess, like the equivalent of like a bar mitzvah, where they Lukapos, yes, they then become men, sort of thing, which is yeah, it's very interesting. Which god granted that? Why are there no strings attached? Sometimes they just do things, and I know it's surprising given their history, but I think sometimes the gods will just do nice things. Sometimes they just do bad things. They're very, yes, fickle, capricious, the gods. Sometimes they are unnecessarily punishing for no reason. They're just asses. But yeah, sometimes they will just do a nice thing. Gerry, now you're just eating cardboard. What thinks you of that? Why do I have a big warning sign on my phone? What does that mean? Oh, no, that's fine. That is fine. Lesbian comes from Greece. Yes, it comes from the Isle of Lesbos, which is where Sappho lived. Which is quite funny because Lemnos was also an island of women, but I guess it didn't get the same rap because they were quite smelly women. JD, thank you for gifting out subs to Nath, Kristen, Squirtle, Yotunda, and Fatia. Thank you very much. That is very kind of you. Then again, to be fair, on Lemnos, it was an isle of women, but they weren't necessarily, it's only because they had murdered all of their husbands. They weren't necessarily in love with each other. They had just killed all of the men. So, a little bit of murder does not a lesbian make. It was just for want of options. Did they have it coming? Yes. So basically, Aphrodite was annoyed at the lack of worshipping of her on that island. Oh, bye-bye, JD. Fingers crossed for everything. You take care. Thank you for everything. So, yeah, Aphrodite was annoyed that there wasn't as much worship of her as there should be, so she made all of the women stinky, and then the men were like, well, we don't want stinky women, so they would go over to other islands and basically kidnap women from surrounding isles and take them as lovers. And the women were just like, well, that's not cool. And they just one night, they just murdered all of the men on the entire island. And then just for years lived as just a big island of women with a queen in a matriarchal society. Until bloody Jason and the Argonauts came over and ruined everything. It was like, so when Jason sets off on this big task, so hello. Hi baby boy. Jason sets off to go and get the golden fleece, and he has like a really long way to travel, basically so you've got like, can I draw a map on here? So say this is a very basic Greece, and Iolkos is like vaguely there, and then you've got like, I think Lemnos is about there and Turkey is here, and he has to go all the way up round to like here on his journey to get the golden fleece. And he gets to this little island here and he stays there for 2 years. And that's like in the first few days of travel. There's like, no wonder journeys used to take so long. They were just constantly getting very distracted for long periods of time. But yeah, he like stops on the island and has children that they live to be like, they get born whilst he's there as well, I'm pretty sure. And good morning, Boba. So yeah, it's like when people say, oh, the Odyssey, you know, what a journey, 10 years of journey. And it's just like, yeah, but for like 7 years of it, he was just shacked up. He wasn't really doing anything. It's not like he was constantly traveling for 10 years. He was just trying to get something done. But were they still stinky? No, the women weren't stinky by then anymore. By the time Jason and the Argonauts arrived, they had been relieved of their stank, which is nice. I guess Aphrodite was appeased by all of the murder in her name. But yeah. Greek mythology. I would like to be, I've got 2 books that I need to finish reading. For one for just me that I've been reading, and one for book club, and then another one for book club actually, and then after that I will be getting back into, like, I definitely want to read the Odyssey when I go on holiday in September, but I might be able to, one in life like, I might be able to sneak in another little book in between. I wish I had more time for reading. That was another thing. Yesterday I was meant to be doing some gardening, but I was just like, do you know what? I need to sit and have a read. What? I should join a book club. Yeah, book clubs are very nice. It just sort of encourages you to read more books, if that's something you would like to do. Okay, once Fifi is off of the toilet, Gerry, you can have your banana. She's just off on another adventure. Yay! Okay, come on. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do 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 do. Bum bum. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. My goodness. Okay, one for each. No, don't eat it on the carpet. I'll get in so much trouble. Well, it's already happened. What are you gonna do? How do you sniff so much louder when you're looking for banana? Sniffing just intensifies. You can't eat that, I'm afraid. Oh, no, it turns out you can. You've proved me wrong. Fifi. Got me on a technicality. Thank you, Fifi. Thank you for cleaning up the evidence. No one's ever going to know that there was banana on the carpet. Oh, look at him's little tail. Look at that little tail nook. What a perfect little man. Look at he. What a boy. Hey. That's all just Gerry's floof. Don't go taking that in. There you go. They had their nana. Not an office banana, mind. I had to source that one, but that's okay. Do you know how difficult it is to, if ever I say that's okay, to then not follow it with, this is a seaplane. That's just going to be stuck in my head for eternity. That's okay. This is a seaplane. Oh. There's not as many tufts on this side of Gerry. Dee dee dee. Dee 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 dee. I have to upload our passports to see so much tail. Oh, I get that reference. I saw the thing news. I've been very confused because people have been making references to it in reels and stuff, and I was just like, what is everyone on about? I don't understand. But now I do understand. I had a thing recently that I had to send a picture of ID for. What was it? I think it was when I made the VOD channel, and I had to like verify to YouTube that I was a real person, because otherwise you could only upload like so many videos a day and it just wasn't enough. And I sent a picture of my ID and they were just like, that's not valid. And I was just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. It is. So I sent back another picture. They were like, yep, that's valid. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you. Dear, oh dear. I guess I'm not a person then. Yes, I was under the impression I did exist, but clearly you've proved me wrong. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Sorry, Gerry. Must have not thought for a bit there. Yeah. I don't think it ceases to exist. Oh, Gerry, I think the ratio of tough stealing to cuddles hasn't been enough. I can see him getting fractious. Send in your me avatar picture. Send in my what was it? Florida bronchi, yeah. Send that in to me. Look. Am I not real? Oh, that was a good tuft. Oh. Oh, Gerry, that was great. Good teamwork there, buddy. Good work. Do you know what I reckon? In a previous life, many moons ago, I would have been great as, like, back when we were monkeys and you have to sit and, like, do the thing that you watch monkeys doing when they're grooming each other. I reckon I would have been great at that. Maybe I could go and live with chimpanzees and do that. You'd be so popular as an ape, yeah. I'd give the best little. I'd just be sat there for ages, like ooh, ooh. All of the monkeys would line up for the bronchi salon. I mean, I guess, you know, you help a friend, you do some bonding, you get a little snack. It just sounds great. What a good time to spend together. Imagine if, like, I mean, it would have to be, obviously I wouldn't want to eat fleas. But imagine if there was the equivalent of, like, your friend comes round and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done this. I've spilt jelly beans in my hair and now they're all in there. And you're just like, don't worry, babes, I've got you. And you just sit there for ages. Just picking them out, having a little snack. It would be, just eat a flea going, no. No. Imagine it's like going to the hair salon and all the monkeys would gossip with each other. They're just there like, so, which part of the rainforest are you staying in this summer? I hear that's lovely this time of year. Ooh. Okay, I've sort of cleared out the tail area. I just keep thinking about bloody Costco. I'm really worried that they're not going to let... I thought Costco had a limit as to how many people you were allowed to take in. But I've been told that's not true. But I always thought you were only allowed to have, like... I thought everyone with the Costco card gets like a +1. But maybe that's not true. Maybe you can take more than one person in. But there's 4 of us going and only one Costco card. So it might be that my friend has to just keep on escorting us in individually. if my fear is true. But, yeah. There's only one thing I'm going in there for. But I don't know if I will leave with more than that one thing. Because I just don't even know what's in there. Here. Good work. Maybe you can hide in the shopping trolley. Yeah. I once read a kid's book about a character who chewed gum for weeks and kept it behind her ear so that when I was about 6, it got stuck and had to have an emergency haircut. Oh no! Yeah, gum in hair is like horrendous. It's so horrendous. I would not recommend. You leave with a pack of 8 of that thing. Well, it's a what is it? Like it's these burgies that I really like, and they're usually really spenny, but you can get, I think, is it 12 of them? It's like 12 of them for £10 or something, which is a really good offer for these. No, wait, I think it's 10 of them for £12, which is still a good offer because usually it's like £4.50 for a pack of 2. So I'm looking forward to having, my friend who goes to Costco got me a packet of them before, and then when they ran out I was so sad because I was like, oh, I have to go back to paying big price. I don't like big price. So maybe I will stock up on a few boxes. Like, is there a limit to how many you can buy of something in Costco? What are the rules? It feels like it's got its own separate list of rules just for that one shop. Like, do they check your ID on the way in? Are there Costco bouncers that wait either side of the door and choose whether you're worthy enough to go in? Oh dear. Are there 2 bouncers and one of them tells only lies? Are you on a no Costco fight list? Maybe. You understood it? Well done, Rob. Duolingo paying off. I've not done Duolingo in like a month, and now he's like really sad with me. I love watching the new dramatic lengths he's going to. And then the worst part of it is that I have the Finch app, which I use every day next to the Duolingo widget. And I'm just like, oh, one of these birds is being neglected. Yeah. The person with the card just scans it when they go in. I don't know if there's a limit of people they can take. I mean, hopefully not. But and hopefully they've got the burgies in stock, because otherwise I'm just going to have to spend a lot of money because I arranged to have this barbecue with the hope that I could Costco the burgies, but it'll be fine. Fingers crossed. It'll be fine. Look, I've stolen that's a modest amount of Gerry. That's not too much. You should have seen the pile I got out of he last night. Are you doing barbecue corn on the cob? I was going to try to, but I've never done that before. So I don't know. But I guess what's the worst that can happen? What do? You just wrap it up in tin foil and stick it on the barbecue? Or do you not even need the tin foil? I assume that'll keep the spread on. Google says 2 friends, but only the person with the card can purchase things. Oh, okay. That does make sense. I'm sorry, Gerry. I said I was happy with how much I had stolen, and then I stole more. I'm sorry. You're the most patient boy. Are you not? Yes, this boy can fit so much patience in him when it comes to being defloofed. Well, I guess it is time for me to run away and get ready to go into the office and then tell Kirsty and Rydian all about my Costco adventure for 3 hours. And then I finally get to go and see if it lives up to my expectations. Shall we go to... Shall we go to see the ducks? Me humps? Lovely ducks. Bobby just came sprinting in and boot me on the leg when you said it was time to go. Oh. Oh my gosh. Imagine if I just, when sometimes I say like, I talk to Alexa and it sets off everyone's Alexa. Imagine if a streamer just started saying, the W word. Imagine that. And all of the doggos are suddenly like, oh. Oh, is it time? I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do that to the precious babies. Get their little hopes up. Well, everyone, I hope you have fabulous times. I'll see some of you later for Kababi. And some of you I will not see. So have wonderful weekends. And I hope you all look after yourselves. Be good. And I shall speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Oh. 4. One more little tuft for the road. Bye-bye. A boop.